Evening. What a day, huh? To say the least. But I'm not getting into it no more. That was enough for one day. Now I'm gonna just chill out and relax. It's been a heck of a day in so many ways, to say the least. So I'm just gonna chill out. My game. I checked Greenland, cloudy. Canadian location for Aurora, cloudy. Subaru in Hawaii, cloudy. Everywhere's cloudy. Here, cloudy. Alexa, what's the weather for tonight?
Tonight will be clear with temperatures between 21 and 23 degrees.
I ain't setting up
No
my...
rain expected and just a 2% chance of snow.
There's no way I'm setting my camera up. There's no way. I am not in the mood to deal with that cold out there. For what? I'm tired. I don't feel like setting up that camera. But what a day, to say the least, huh? All right, let me get on TikTok. Laundry at 8:15 at night. That was a mission in itself just now. The wash machine. It's old. The switch broke. I rewired it, and it's working. I bypassed the switch. When you know what you're doing, it's a big deal. Oh no. Stop. Oops. Okay, now. Now we're live the right way. I forgot to change the title on TikTok. Tycho, what are you doing? What are you doing? Come here. Come over here. I didn't think so. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to relax tonight. It's been a day. So, being that there's nothing going on, my dog, what does he keep doing? I gotta watch him. I don't even feel like playing a game. I was gonna. I can't play music on the drums. Drums to music. Or on the Tube of the U and the Book of the Face. I'm debating. Hello, Dana. Today's been a heck of a day. I'm not even... I think I addressed enough of it this morning. Wow. But there is the newest thing that's out there is 5 Americans have been detained in Venezuela. And this vice president in Venezuela made a speech. It was like, oh boy, I thought we're in control of Venezuela. Well, what she said to the people of Venezuela, I was like, well, that's not what I thought. I was like, what just happened? So, I don't know what the heck is going on at this point. But yes, the latest I seen was 5 Americans have been detained in Venezuela. So, to be continued. But I am not getting into that tonight. I want to relax. For at least tonight. Tomorrow's another day. Though, he did land right near my house. Not far. That's where the plane landed. At Stewart, which is not far from my house. in Newburgh. That's where the plane landed with Maduro. Then they flew him by helicopter into the city, to the west side, 30th Street. And then took him to get processed, I guess, he and his wife. Everything moved so fast. I didn't hear the helicopters because they weren't heading north, where I am. They were heading south. But I'm sure they had this whole area closed off nearby, going near that airport, near my house, for sure. What is it? What's going on? What's the matter? Peanuts. Oh shit. They're showing video on TV with him with a hoodie and being escorted and they're showing the video of the helicopters coming into the city with him. I'm taping this, so this was the local news, WCBS. Wow, look at that. So one of the local news helicopters filmed the helicopters coming into land in the city. Wow. That's what's going on right now on the TV. But I'm taping that because, like I said, I've had enough for one day. Oh my gosh. What's up, Jake? And what's up, Cali Nick? Oh, Cali Nick. What happened with the game? I totally forgot it was on today. What happened? Fill me in. It should be over by now, no? No? Yes? What's up, Jake? Alexa, what was the score of the 49ers game today?
The 49ers game is currently tied 0-0 with the Seattle Seahawks. It's still in the first quarter with 7
Oh,
minutes
he
left.
told me 5 o'clock. That means it was 8 o'clock here. It just started. Now I get it. He told me it's at 5.
That's right. 5 p.m.
Alexa,
Pacific
stop.
time is
I forgot. He told me, yeah, it's at 5 o'clock Saturday. 5 o'clock California time. Duh. Doing good. I got up super early this morning. It was crazy because KJ's calling me at 2:30 in the morning last night on Teams. And he's calling me like 4 or 5 times. Like, I didn't answer because I was sleeping. And the phone wasn't near me. I wasn't getting up out of bed to get to the phone. I don't like to sleep with a phone near me. I don't like the phone near me at all, period. I can make it stay its distant. He wants out of the room. Go ahead. Go, Mom. Go ahead, go, Mom. Go ahead, go, Mom. Go ahead, go, Mom. This dog is crazy. He's telling me to open the door the other way this time. Usually he does that weird bark sound to come into the room. This time he actually wanted to get out of the room. That's weird. That doesn't happen often. Like he's doing that sound to get out of the room. Meaning he wants to go to sleep under Mom's bed. That's what that means. Where the heck was I? I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, the game. So it just started. That's what Nick is. He might have popped in chat, but he's probably watching. Oh, you had snow in the UK? Oh, that's funny you say that because I got to put my camera back outside. I'm not doing it right now. I'm in a very chill mood tonight. Like lazy chill mood. Let's see what it looks like outside. Let me just turn this light on. Oh! Okay, why didn't my... Should go to color. There it goes. We in color. There it is. We're in color. Talk about snow, Jake. There you go. Snow. And that stuff ain't melting. Because it's freezing out there. It's cold out there. So that's what it looks like in front of my house. I think Jake left. He said we finally have more snow. Well, look at the snow here. And I honestly don't think... I'm hearing all kinds of weird noises around me. The dog's now, nobody's in the room. It's just me. I'm hearing like weird noises. I gotta call my friend quick. I bought him a ticket for a show. I don't know if he realizes it. A Rush tribute band for March 7th. He doesn't pick up. He does not pick up. He's one of those type of people. I've known him for many, many, many years. He's never changed. Well, I ain't gonna keep calling. Okay. Nick, you know, what's up, Bob? I'm like, Nick said the game starts at 5 o'clock Saturday. Yeah. Another noise. Cali time. Bill, the game's at 5 o'clock on Saturday. I'm thinking, oh, is it 5 o'clock here? I'm thinking the game's over. Game just started. Oh, he meant 5 o'clock his time. That's 8 o'clock here. I'm asking Alexa, what's the score? What was the final of the 49ers Seahawks game? And I'm like, it's 0-0. 0-0. How is that possible? It's early in the first. I'm like, oh, he meant 8 my time, 5 his time. Now it makes sense. So, I'm sure you are watching that game in the background. I am sure. And hello to everybody on TikTok. Since last night was, and I'm glad I got up early this morning, huh? I thought it was going to be Iran. Well, it turned out to be something else. And if you remember last night, before I ended the stream, I checked flight radar, and I noticed it looked like a triangle of the airspace that was clear. Remember last night when we looked at Venezuela quick and nothing was going on? Well, it was pretty obvious something was going on, because I never saw that triangle formation of planes avoiding the area like that. It looked weird. Well, there was a reason. Because shit was popping off. Well, Nick, here's the weird thing. The president said he's going to run Venezuela now. But the vice president already made a speech to the nation and saying, we want Maduro and his wife returned immediately. Like they were kidnapped, all this stuff. And 5 Americans have now been detained in Venezuela. They're going to try to use that as some kind of leverage. It's not going to work. But they already detained 5 Americans. And the people that were under Maduro, oh yeah, and the people that were under Maduro, they just moved up. They're still there. The military people that were part of his, it's still the same government minus Maduro. It's the same government right now that's running Venezuela. With the minus of Maduro, everybody's still there. The core of who was around him, they're all still there. And now, instead of Maduro in charge, that vice president's in charge. Now, maybe because he thinks she's a woman that he can push her and do things. I don't know. But I don't think the Americans are running Venezuela right now. Unless she's saying one thing to the Venezuelan people and doing something totally different and working with the United States on the other side. I don't know. But it really got weird. And you see how much oil was talked about? What have I been saying? Did you see how much the oil came up? That was a big deal. Energy, oil, oil, oil. So, again, 5 Americans have now been detained in Venezuela and are being held. The president, well, not president, the vice president addressed the nation. I saw the speech translated from Spanish to English. And you wouldn't think that Trump is running Venezuela right now or anybody standing behind him. I didn't get that impression of what she said to the people of Venezuela. So I don't know. I honestly don't know what the heck is going on. You hear one thing from one side and you hear another thing from the other side. It's like, I don't know. But we're just going to have to see. I guess time will tell, right? Again, I was monitoring after I stopped streaming this morning, which you see how, if you were here, I kept it right there. And I had a lot of people tuning in this morning on this. There was a lot of people. And everybody was thanking me for the great conversation and keeping it respectful and letting everyone voice their opinions. But that's what it's about. That's what it's about.
Is it ready?
Yes.
I gotta rinse it again because it has a lot of soap.
So just turn it and let it refill it. It's gonna work. You don't even know. My washing machine, the switch broke. It's old. I took it apart and I rewired it, and I'm gonna see right now when he's turning it if it stays on. Is it working?
Yeah.
It's working. It's gonna be interesting to see how this unfolds. But like I said, I was watching Tusi, and still the stuff going on in Iran is cray-cray.
Dude, can I see the table?
Go ahead, do what you gotta do.
Where is it?
You put it wherever. Don't forget about what's going on in Iran. I saw Tusi at 3 p.m. my time, and he's talking about everything that's going on over there. It's crazy. So the supreme leader crawled out of his hole, his bunker, to make a quick speech before he went back into the hole to his little bunker. And he says that anybody who's like causing these disturbances, that they're going to be confronted and dealt with. And then he says that, and then he goes back into his hole to hide. I'm like, oh shit. Like, really? Oh my God, what a day. What a day. What a day. And trust me, on TikTok earlier today, it was back and forth, people, voicing their opinions. Yes, this is great. Oh, this is a war crime. You attacked a sovereign country and removed their leader. Well, we've done it before with Noriega and others. They were indicted. Here's the thing that gets me crazy. You say that you arrested one of the biggest ringleaders involved in drugs, yet you sympathize with somebody that was a sympathizer of yours and was convicted by a jury of smuggling over 200 tons of cocaine, and you pardoned that person. So you pardoned a former president of another country who was convicted by a jury, just like you're going to try to do with Maduro, and you pardon him because he's a sympathizer of yours. But when it's somebody that is, and don't get me wrong, Maduro's not a good person, but now you're going to put this person on trial in front of a jury and they're convicted, I'm sure you're not going to pardon him, right? And that's the hypocrisy here. You pardon one guy who was convicted by a jury. The Honduran president, he was convicted. This was not a Biden thing. He was convicted by a jury with evidence in front of a grand jury, found guilty. And you pardoned him. And he was, and yes, JB, that's what a lot of people are saying out there. A lot of people are saying that. It's a smokescreen to hide the Epstein files. A lot of people are saying that right now. This is all part of that. Again, anyone can speculate from any angle. Now, to me, it's all about the Venezuelan people and how they move forward in their country. Does this change anything? Do they benefit from it? It's up to, that's really what it's about, the people of Venezuela. Everybody can talk about it, criticize it, praise it from the outside looking in. And I'm sure there's a lot of Venezuelans in this country that are partying and applauding what happened in Venezuela. But it really matters to the people of Venezuela. Everybody can come up with their own political sway and opinion. Pro-Trumpers are going to be, yes, this was great. The anti-Trumpers are going to say he needs to be impeached. You know what I mean? That's just the politics of it. But how does it affect the people of Venezuela directly moving forward? That's what's important for them. At least to me. And does it change anything? Because you say that you're running the country right now, but meanwhile the vice president just put her nose like this to you and just said, whoa, whoa, whoa. What are you talking about? Who's running what? And then they just detained 5 Americans in Venezuela, arrested them, American citizens. You know what that's for? It's from the Russian playbook. They're trying to create a situation where they're going to have to swap. Trump's not going to swap Maduro for no one. So I don't know what game that's all about. They're starting to detain Americans in Venezuela. And now the sentiment is, well, are you going to come rescue us like you extradited Maduro out of the country? Are you going to come to do the same for us locked up in this prison now? So, actually, again, Bob, from a pro-Trump perspective, that's a perspective and an angle. There is a lot of negative things that could come out of this. You could have just greenlit China to take Taiwan now. You could have definitely just said, okay, you know what? Putin can unleash unholy hell on Ukraine now, because if we could do it in Venezuela, why can't he do it now in Ukraine? He can go fucking all out now. You have just changed the playing field and the rules on this, because this is actually an international law violation. Even though he was indicted by an American court system, you went into a sovereign country who was not in a declaration of war with you. It's your own proclaimed declaration of war, and you went into a sovereign country. Not only did you attack it, but you removed their leader. What's to say any other leader that he doesn't like, he does the same thing to them? Who behaves like that? Dictators behave like that. We don't like you. We don't like the way we're dealing with you. Well, we're just going to come in and fucking remove you. Is that what the United States is about? So there's a lot of ways to spin this. There's a lot of ways to look at this. You know, like I said, people that support Trump are rah, rah, this is great, awesome, perfect job, awesome. And I'm talking from all angles. I'm in the middle. I'm looking at this all over the place. What are the pros and cons of this? It's not just pros. There are cons involved here. So, you know, you got to look at it objectively and the ramifications of these kind of actions. Like I said, you could spin this 1,000 different ways. It depends on your perspective and how you look at things in a practical sense, in a political sense, and in an objective sense. Yeah, I can't say that word, Fringe, because I'm on TikTok. But Fringe is saying here in Canada, our dictator is a real, you know, not a good person. That's what Fringe is saying. Happy New Year to you too. Yeah, Dusty, that's a good point. Dusty brings up a good, and I don't want to get drawn into this conversation again tonight because, you know, I went for hours this morning. But you make a great point. This was a statement. If we just wanted to change, there would have been a CIA op, and they would have looked like someone else had done it or an accident. It's definitely a statement. It's a statement to Mexico, Colombia, and Cuba, and to Iran, and to all the other countries. It is definitely a statement. And don't call my bluff. When I say something, I mean it. And Rubio said that during the White House, Mar-a-Lago briefer, press conference, whatever you want to call it, address to the nation, because they did take questions afterward. So again, now 5 Americans have been detained. We're in control of the country. Well, from what I heard, the vice president, and translated it from Spanish to English, that's not what she said. And all of Maduro's people are still in that circle. Right now in government. Right now in Venezuela. The vice president is now the interim leader, and all of Maduro's people that were on his side are still there. Now, I don't know if this is a puppet government. They're saying one thing to like quell any kind of thing going on in the country to keep stability and peace, and that was just a statement to do that, to calm people, and or is it something else? I don't know. But it sure didn't look like when she spoke after the president spoke that Trump is running the country right now, not based on what she said. We will not become a colony of the United States. She said that. I was like, oh, shit. But wait a minute. I thought Trump said he's running the show now. But again, that could be all bluster just to put that out there, to you know, as a show to the people of Venezuela. But meanwhile, she's really working with the U.S. government. Who knows? I'm speculating because I don't know. I'm not there. I'm not on the inside. I don't know what's going on. But remember, and look it up, 5 Americans have now been detained in Venezuela. Detain Americans game. So that was the latest I heard. It came on an email. Breaking. 5 Americans detained in Venezuela. I was like, oh, where'd this one come from? And that's the Russian playbook. You hope he likes green bologna sandwiches. This is telling Xi and Putin something completely different politically. It says we are not afraid of coming in and removing your leadership. It's not an offer for them to do likewise. Oh, fuck. This is a green light on Taiwan. This is a green light. He's not going to do anything to China over Taiwan. Taiwan's gone this year. I'm convinced Taiwan is gone this year. I hope I'm wrong. You can move on Venezuela. We're not going to say a word, but don't fucking say a word if we move on Taiwan. You're worried about your backyard? Well, Taiwan is our backyard. Taiwan's gone this year. I am convinced. You think the president's going to go to war with China? You think they're going to have a conflict with China over Taiwan? Honestly? Honestly? In their backyard? I don't think so. So we're just going to have to wait and see how all this plays out, right? I'm keeping an eye now on Iran, too. I've been keeping an eye on Iran. Now, I don't know if this is hitting a boiling point now and it's going to come simmer down and nothing happens. No regime change there. But there's a lot of talk. He's put out another statement today. The Crown Prince of, the exiled Crown Prince of Iran, the Shah's son. He put another statement addressing the military directly in Iran. So there's a lot going on over there too right now. And remember, I read to you guys the president's statement yesterday regarding Iran and the Crown Prince after the president made a statement in support of the president. And saying that if he's back in power, he's going to create lasting peace and prosperity between the two countries. And it will bring peace to the region, stability to the region. So if I'm the supreme leader right now and I found out what happened in Venezuela, I might have to get a deeper bunker. Forget about a bigger boat. I may have to dig a bigger bunker or get the hell out now while I can. Otherwise, they're going to scoop me up like they did Maduro. I'm just saying, and it's not a funny thing, but I'm like, holy shit. Hide in the desert, yeah. I heard he's in Western Iran somewhere. That's what I heard. So, I don't know. We're going to have to keep an eye on that one too. And Colombia, Mexico. If it were now, if I was in the president's position right now, with his, I would say, agenda here, dealing with South America or even the Americas, because that's what I was talking to somebody earlier. Think now again. This is on the flip side. Think of it this way. What would be a strategic move for the United States to create in the Americas a stable region of unity and peace that can counter what goes on in Europe and in Asia and Russia? Okay, we're not so worried about what's going on over there, but we're sure as hell going to secure our Americas. Canada, of course, our country, Central America, South America, Cuba, even Greenland. Is that what's at play here? Think down the line, long term. Is that the strategy here? Because remember, Cuba depends on that connection with Venezuela, not just for the oil, but they send, like Rubio said today, they send a lot of personnel to Venezuela as a security blanket. They're getting paid. No more pay, they're gone. Cuba's economy is going to collapse. That money flow is not there anymore. Cuba might fall. Keep an eye on Cuba. There's a lot of ramifications here. And like I said, there's pros and cons. There's different ways to look at this. And if a person's a Republican, they're looking at specifically from one way, narrow. And if you're a Democrat, same thing. They're looking at it from a narrow perspective. But what's going on a broader plane here? That's when you try to figure out what is really going on here. Like what Dusty said. Think a little bit outside the box here. And the ramifications globally. And the ramifications here in the United States and on our continent. It's a lot to think about. This could be the beginning. If it were me, I'm going after Mexico. If I'm going to do this and not make this about the oil and really make it about the drug cartels, I'm going after Mexico and Colombia. Because they are the main players here. One with the cocaine trade and Mexico as the transit hub. I'm going after Mexico. Because they're the ones that are responsible for the majority of the fentanyl, methamphetamines, cocaine, heroin, you name it. They're the ones. They're the transit hub that directly affects the United States. The vast, vast majority of the drugs come from Mexico. They got to be on the list. If you do this to Venezuela and it's not necessarily about the oil and it has to do with the drugs, you got to go after Mexico. You got to go after Colombia. In my opinion. See what happens. Because right now, a lot of people are saying, this is about the oil. Even Venezuelans were like, he mentioned energy, he mentioned our oil. That we're going to benefit from our oil. And there's like mixed feelings because I was looking at Venezuelans on the Spanish channel talking. And they're like, we would love, it's in Spanish, but I'm listening to it. We would love the United States to come and invest for the oil here. But it's not their oil. It's our oil. And I'm like, oh shit. So right away he's saying, oh yeah, we're going to take the oil. It's going to benefit the Venezuelan people. China, it'll still go out to all these countries and they're actually going to get more oil than ever because now we're going to be able to produce the oil, which a lot of Venezuelans said that too. They weren't producing the oil that they should be. And I was listening to this in Spanish. And they said that the money that they did make went right to Maduro, not to the people. To pay for the Cuban security, the cartels, all that. So when you hear the Venezuelan people talking, they have like mixed on the ground emotions about all this. But the bottom line is, the majority said, this is our oil. This is not his oil. This is our oil. We're a sovereign country. That was a lot what people, the vibe that I was getting on, I don't know if it was Univision, Telemundo, I don't know what channel. But yeah, what's going on the ground in Venezuela? What are the people thinking? What are they feeling right now? Forget about what we think. What are they thinking? So, and yeah, before I read Dusty's comment, and yes, this puts up, but we don't know yet. But this could put a big dent in Russia, China, Iran influence. This is for starters. For starters. In South America. I have not heard any statements coming condemnation, but I haven't really been paying attention because I had to tune out. Has Putin denounced this? Xi denounced this? Did the Ayatollah, the supreme leader, crawl out of his hole and condemn it? I don't know. I have not seen any of that. Actually, it's more like okay. Hold on. Venezuela is about twice the size of Texas. We need a strong staging area in South America for any long. Oh, I brought that up today in a conversation with someone. You're damn right. We need to put a base in Venezuela. I had that conversation with somebody today. That would be a very strategic point to have a base, military base, in Venezuela. And I'm just, like I said, I'm just taking that angle, Dusty. Anything I'm saying is just looking at everything from any side, like any perspective. But you would think that would be a smart move. You're not going to just keep your carrier out there the whole time, right? You definitely would like to have something in that neighborhood, especially if you're going to take on Colombia. Yes, totally agree with you, Dusty. Think about an Air Force base and an Army fort there. Panama would be within striking distance as well. All south. Yes, it's right in the middle. It's right there. It's perfect logistically positioned to put a base there. What's up, Ben? No, the aircraft carrier is not a base. It's there temporarily. And the aircraft carrier is an asset that has to be moved into a place of more importance, into other regions of the world. That aircraft carrier is not going to stay there forever. It's either going to move to it's going to come back home first, but it's probably going to be redeployed somewhere in the Middle East or South China Seas, or the Baltic. It's not staying. It'll be there for a while, because like the president said, there may be the need for a second strike, a much bigger one. It's not going to go right away. It's going to stay there for a minute, but it's not going to stay there forever. But so yeah, it's go enjoy your dinner, Dusty. But no, Dusty, you make great points, bro. Those are valid points. You know, that was the one thing today when I was streaming on TikTok. His voice should be heard. And everybody's opinion. You may not like it. I may not like it. But I'm still going to read it, whether I like it or not, because I think everybody's voice should be put out there, as long as it's respectful. Right? At least that's the way I look at things. And it is very hard to navigate that. It's not an easy thing to take the back and forth. You need to make another apple juice, Ben. If no one stops Trump, whether it's Congress or anyone, he's going to invade other countries. Well, under the law now, there has to be a briefing within 48 hours of this strike. So I'm thinking Monday, there's going to be something going on in Congress over this. There will be. I think it's a 48-hour window they have to a briefing for Congress. I'm pretty sure it's 48 hours. Yeah, apple juice is code, bro. Someone on the chat said really played by the Rothschilds. No, there's no proof of any of that. If anything, Again, it could be spun so many ways. Is Trump doing this to look out for his big money friends, investing oil companies immediately going in and making them happy to get back into Venezuela? Is he doing it for them? You know, it could be spun so many ways. You're going to hear all kinds of things. Goes with the territory. You know what I mean, Fringe? Uh-oh. Zilla's approaching. It's... Okay, I did some reading on... Do you remember the War Powers Act that they were going to try to pass in Congress? And it didn't go through? Even if it did, it would have to be after the fact of striking another country. Not to prevent an actual engagement with another country, but the War Powers Act would kick in after we struck a country. Not before. Though there was one individual who was trying to make it where it had to be done before any action was taken on any country. It didn't pass anyway. But even if it had passed, it would have been after the fact, not before. The only thing is that I found strange, because he said I was concerned about leaks coming out of Congress. But the Gang of Eight, you didn't indicate it to the Gang of Eight? Or at least the top leaders in the House and Senate, 4? The majority and minority leader, you didn't even inform those 4? Because they don't trust them to put it out there and leak it. Despite having Signalgate, where if that reporter wasn't responsible, that reporter could have leaked an attack before it happened, and they're talking about it on Signal. We're about to do this, the planes are taking off, the reporter's in there. If that reporter was irresponsible, the United States is about to attack Yemen and put lives at risk. And he would have been... Now, he's in there without their knowledge, but still, he does that. That's like treasonous in a way, because he's leaking, even though they say it wasn't classified. He's leaking information to the public about an attack that's yet to happen. So think of that scenario in perspective. You're worried about leaks, but you people leaked to a reporter on Signal about an attack that was about to happen. How does that make it different? So again, you got to look at things from many different angles. You could spin it. It could be spun. And that's what happens. Maduro presented a clear and present danger. To whom? To whom? The drugs did not come to the United States from Venezuela. The majority went to Europe. That's a fact. I have the report. A government issue report that was given to Congress by our government. That's not true. Not based on what the United States intelligence and international... I have the document. It's Mexico. Mexico. Not Venezuela. Venezuela wasn't even in the fucking report. Yeah. I have the document. A lot of people aren't even aware of this government document. And that's what finds me, it puzzles me. Because people think what they believe, they see what they believe on TV like that's God's honest truth. That's not. I'll bring up the document. I thank God I download PDFs. When I find something, I keep it. Just for this reason. To put the facts out there when people bring out other stuff. Including our own government putting a narrative out there. You think this was about drugs? Or you think this was about oil? And getting our companies back in there and taking the land back and putting those companies back there that was stolen from them in Venezuela. So, clarity is cloudy. It's foggy. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if I had the document. Uh-oh. I know, I'm freezing in here. Not so much now.
Me veo ahora, me estoy meando.
Okay. This was March of this year. Here's the actual document. United States, hold on. United States Department of State Bureau for International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs. And there's more to this I could show you all night. But let's go to Mexico. I think Mexico is 263. Let's go to 263 because it breaks down all the countries. This is a full, thorough report that was handed to Congress. And it's so clear. Oh, boy. Mexico. Mexico is the principal source and transit country for illicit drugs trafficked to the United States. Plain and simple, that says it right there. But let's get into details, including fentanyl, methamphetamine, cocaine, heroin, and marijuana. Mexican suppliers are responsible for production of most fentanyl, heroin, and methamphetamine destined for the United States. Mexico is the largest source country of fentanyl and fentanyl analogs trafficked to the United States. Mexico-based Sinaloa and New Generation Jalisco cartels are the primary distributors of fentanyl and fentanyl analogs in North America. Companies in the People's Republic of China are the largest source of precursor chemicals and equipment used to manufacture illicit fentanyl and other synthetic drugs in Mexico. And then it gets into the details about the cartels, the organized crime here and in Mexico. Ma, do not talk right now. This is not the time. I'm live. Not only that, I have another site from the U.S. Sentencing. Let me find it. United States Commission of Sentencing. Watch this. This is a government site. Here we go. This is a shocker. And this, I hope it's updated. I have to get the actual article, proposed amendments. This is the United States Sentencing Commission. And I have to find the actual, hold on, let me find the actual page that has all the information. And this is all government documents. I gotta bookmark this. Here we go. I gotta bookmark it so I save it. Here's an interesting little tidbit for you to chew on. This is the United States Sentencing Commission. Check this out. 83.5% of people arrested smuggling fentanyl were American citizens, U.S. citizens. 83.5. And then it breaks down the sentencing, the top 5 districts for fentanyl trafficking: Arizona, California, Oregon, Texas, Western New York, Canada. Breaks down the sentencing length, the sentences, all that. Most done by Americans trying to smuggle it through the points of entry from Mexico into the United States on trucks, in cars, on their bodies. This is unbelievable. Most are Americans. You got to see the money laundering that's going on between Americans and the criminal organization side here, going to Mexico, back and forth. It's cray-cray. It really is cray-cray. And it's unbelievable. And this is coming from the United States Sentencing Committee. This is where the information comes on the arrests. So, and I could show you more. But I don't want to get into this whole thing all night. It's crazy. So why I'm saying this, if it were me, I'm going after Mexico. I'm going after Colombia. That's why I brought this all up. I want to, if it were me. And this is what we're trying to do here, clean up and get rid of these cartels and all these drugs coming to the United States. Got to put Mexico and Colombia on that list. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm bringing this all up. You said Venezuela with the drugs. Well, the real bad boy transit hub bringing in everything is Mexico. Everything. And we need to do something about it. Just think of how you cut the head off the cartels. They smuggle human trafficking. They're the ones that are responsible for bringing up transiting on those. You ever see those videos of the trains? That's cartel control that goes through Mexico and comes up to the border and they all come over here. The human trafficking alone is insane. It really is. It's disgusting. Let me just see if here's another little interesting chart. One more. 100% fentanyl from Mexico using Chinese precursors. 90 to 98% cocaine from Colombia enters via Mexico. Methamphetamine from Mexico. Look at this, the cartel production. Heroin from Mexico, 90. Remaining 10% from Colombia. Where's Venezuela? Look, Mexico, Colombia, China, Peru. Fentanyl, China, Mexico. Mexico is connected to everything. Methamphetamine, Mexico. Colombia, cocaine. Peru, cocaine. Colombia, heroin. Where does it all go to? Mexico is the transit hub. Where does it go? United States market. And that document I just showed you is the one that it says here, what the 2025 U.S. government reports say. That's the one I just showed you on the screen. So my point is, facts matter. The public doesn't see this. The press doesn't even talk about this. How come I do it, and I have access to it, and I can find it, U.S. documents, actual U.S. government documents, but the media spins things however they spin it. It don't make no sense to me. You know what I'm saying? So if it were up to me, I'm going after Mexico. I'm going after Colombia. And Dusty made a great point. Strategically, if Venezuela is secured under American influence, we need to put a base there. We definitely need to put a base there because that's a perfect strategic point to take on Colombia. Not an aircraft carrier, but a base that could be supplied logistically with assets and positioned to take out assets, sites, infrastructure in Colombia and wipe out those cartels and their fields where they're doing the manufacturing and distribution of cocaine and heroin. But Mexico is the transit hub. We got to do something about that. In my opinion, we got to do something about that. So the buck does not stop with Venezuela. If we're going to do this, let's go all the way and do it right. That's my point. So that's just my personal opinion now. If we're going to do this, let's do it. All in. This way people can't say it was just about the oil. Well, it's not, because we're going after the cartels, period. We're taking them out. we're going to really stop the fentanyl from coming in, the cocaine, the heroin, the methamphetamines, everything else. Because right now, I'm telling you, there's a majority. There's always the small majority that doesn't think. A lot of people out there think this was about the oil. Not everyone. I would say a majority, 55, 60%. The other 40, of course, it's always going to be. I would tell you this right now. If I'm a betting man, the majority of the people in this country are probably thinking, shit, this was about the oil. I wonder if we're going to see any more boats, drug boats being shot up. Interesting. So, keep an eye. And that's it. I am done with this conversation because I was talking about it all morning and I'm exhausted by it. But I will keep an eye on the 5 Americans so far detained in Venezuela and why they did that. That's out of the Russian playbook. Or other countries that do that kind of shit too. Playbook. All right, let's start rounding up Americans and detaining them for a swap. The president's not going to swap Maduro for them. The president may launch another attack and have to do some more work there. Clean up. It's on the table. It's not off the table. So, again, this is complicated. Everybody could be rah-rah or angry. This is fluid. It's just going on. It's just happened. We have to see the days, weeks, months, etc. ahead. When the dust settles, how does it settle? When you hear that the United States has boots on the ground and are now running a country, I wonder what the core MAGA people are saying. Is this the Make America Great, America First policy? Did we vote for this? I thought we were going to not get involved. But at the same time, they may find a way to convince themselves. In this instance, it's okay. So I just wonder, how do you navigate that one? No more conflicts, no more wars. America first. And by saying it's all about the drugs and stuff, that's convincing this is about America first. Are oil companies going in and doing what they do? It's America's first. It's security, and it's also about the energy. That oil, because he said it himself today, and the energy. Oil. So, and that's why I say, if this is really about drugs coming into the United States, well, you got to go after the big boy, Mexico. Then I say to myself, okay, this is the right thing to do. We're really going after the drugs and the cartels. This is a move that needs to be made. Now, if it doesn't, then people are going to wonder, this had nothing to do with the drugs. This was about the oil. So we'll see. And I've been saying it for a while. This is about the oil. And oil was brought up quite a bit today, wasn't it? It was definitely on the president's mind. Oil, 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 oil. U.S. oil companies. And when I was watching, because I watched the whole thing, it seemed like the word oil came up quite a bit. And energy. So we'll see. And like I said, I am so done because I'm tired of it. The weird thing was, Maduro landed right near my house in Newburgh. I'm on the outskirts. I'm north of Newburgh. He landed here. And I'm like, oh shit. He's in Newburgh, Stewart. He's right here. And I'm saying, the helicopter's not going over my house. Because that would be going north. They're heading south toward the city. If I was living south of Newburgh, I would have seen the helicopters going over my house with Maduro in it. Because it's that close. And I was like, oh shit, they brought him to Stewart. And then they flew him by helicopter onto the west side, 30th Street, I think it was. That's where the heliport is. One of them. And then they brought him south. And they probably brought him to the Southern District, Manhattan Court. There's a facility there. Fuck. I think that might have been where Epstein was. He might be in the same place Epstein was. The Southern District, Southeastern District of New York. Because they're the ones who indicted him. That's why he's coming to New York. So I'm like, oh shit. So it's been crazy. I didn't go out. I'm sure they had everything blocked off. They probably had that whole airport completely barricaded off to the roads. No one was going near that, if I had to guess. And it's true. I heard no planes flying over today. The airspace was locked down here. There was no international traffic. There was no civilian planes coming in. This place was locked down because it's been quiet here, and it's still quiet. I don't know when they're going to reopen the airspace, but probably by tomorrow. But it's been quiet here because I'm not hearing anything. And we could look at flight radar, but it's been really quiet here all day, and I'm like, why so quiet? Then I saw it on the news that he was being flown into Stewart. I was like, oh, that's why. Let me check. It made sense. Like I said, if I was to live south of Newburgh, I would have had the helicopters flying over my house with Maduro on it. That's crazy. Okay, let's see. I think they reopened it. Yeah, they did. Airspace was reopened. So this is where Maduro, I mean, there are planes in the area like normal. This is where Maduro was taken to near my house. Right here, Stewart. That's where he was taken. That's where he landed. And then flown by helicopter to New York City. That shit is close to me. That's not far from me. 15 minutes? 20? To my south and west? Because I'm like right here along the Hudson. That's close. So, this is where they brought him, right here. Stewart International, but it's also a National Guard base over here. So they flew him in here, and then they flew him by helicopter to New York City to the west side. Right down there. The heliport. There it is. That's where he flew into. The heliport, right there. That's exactly where they brought him. To this heliport. And then they went down to Lower Manhattan. So that's exactly what happened. No real updates, just that Maduro landed a few hours ago near my house and then was flown by helicopter to that heliport right here. And then escorted a motorcade vehicle police to somewhere in Manhattan, Lower Manhattan, where the court is. It's all the way down. The courts are like on the lower They're like way down here. This is where the courts are. So that's where he's at right now. Roughly. But the latest, actually, Dylan, is that 5 Americans have been detained in Venezuela. I'm going to look it up. They're trying to play that game now. So if we were in control, why would they detain Americans? If we were in control of the country, why are they detaining Americans? Ask yourself that. Okay. But this didn't happen today. They did this shit in preparation. They weren't just detained today, because I'm looking at a New York Post article from 3 days ago. And I'll share it on the screen. It's like they were doing this in preparation that if something happened to Maduro. Venezuela is holding at least 5 Americans captive, including a New Yorker. And that's him. He's from Staten Island. He's among the recently U.S. citizens imprisoned in Venezuela. So they were setting it up. So here, this is what it says. 2 of the 5 prisoners, including the guy above, are being wrongfully detained, while the remaining 3 allegedly face criminal charges that American officials believe could be legitimate. He's previously used detained Americans, regardless of whether or not they face legitimate criminal charges, as bargaining chips with the U.S. 17 American citizens and permanent residents have been freed this year as part of negotiation between the Trump administration and Maduro government. These talks, however, were suspended following Trump's decision to apply military and economic pressure against Maduro, with Venezuela beginning to detain Americans again in the fall. Previous detainees have detailed abusive conditions in Venezuela's prison system, with many condemning Caracas over the lack of due process and bogus charges pressed against them. So he's been doing this, setting the stage in the event that what happened today happened. So they've got Americans being detained in Venezuela. Now, as a gesture of good faith, you would hope that they would release them now. If Trump is running the country, you would think those Americans would be freed immediately from being detained. Or are the other 3 that allegedly could be legitimate face court, go to court, face those charges, and are convicted? I don't know. Let's see something else, because I heard it in Spanish, but sometimes my Spanish, so I'm not the... This is what she said after. Venezuela's vice president throws cold water on Trump's solution for running the country. Not so fast. Not so fast. She wants them immediately released. Fast. Good luck with that. Venezuela's Vice President Delcy Rodriguez condemned the U.S. attack and capture of Nicolas Maduro on Saturday, saying in a televised address to the nation, "We will never return to being the colony of another empire." So she's already saying some stuff. So there's already conflicting things going on as regards who's running what, who's in charge, who's already. Not so fast from the Venezuela side. And like I said, the only thing that has changed in the Venezuelan government is the removal of Maduro. Everybody else is still there. It's still intact. The government didn't fall. The players in that government, they're still attaining the positions they had with Maduro. The only thing that's different is Maduro's gone. But the Venezuelan government remains the same. There was no changes. Just that she's the interim president now. But all those military people were by her side, that was by Maduro's side. Nothing's changed. So I don't know, when we hear we're running the country, I'm not so sure. Who's running what? Or who's saying what? You know what I mean? It's not clear to me. It's one thing to say something. Actions speak louder than words. You know what I mean? It's like, are we really? And yeah, you see these people behind me? They're running it with others that we have there. Who are the others? Is it her? Is she saying this to appease her people and try to say, put her foot down and say, we're facing the Americans and but meanwhile, she's actually working with us? That could be the case. But what if it's not? Do we have to go in now and take her out? Is that what's next? Do we got to go back into Venezuela and now scoop her out too? Or scoop out anybody that we don't agree to be there in power? But it's kind of weird because the other woman, and I saw this on the Spanish channel too, he says, no, we don't want her. She doesn't have the following. What? Is he in the loop? That is not the case. She has a lot of support in Venezuela. What is he talking about? When he said that, he caught me dumbfounded. Like, no, she doesn't have that following, that support. Bullshit. Ask the Venezuelan people. I was watching on the Spanish channel. They were like shocked when he said that. Because they support her. A lot of people support her. They voted for her. Also, when there's a change in the leadership, there's supposed to be an immediate election in Venezuela. That's in their constitution. That's another thing. That's another thing. So that's in their constitution. When there's a regime change, like when there's a leadership change, they're supposed to automatically have elections. That's in their constitution. Let's see how that goes. So again, there's a lot going on. I know it's a little chaotic. It seems very impulsive. Well planned out, I will say, by the military, but impulsive decision making. Like, past presidents have done this too. You do something, are you not thinking about what happens after? Oh, but I'm different from the other presidents. Well, obviously, a few hours later, there's a conflicting narrative going on here, coming from Venezuela, from you. What's really going on? I'm confused. I don't know. I swear I'm confused right now. Because I don't know if she's a puppet and she's saying things to her people, but yet we're working with her and she's just saying that, or she's just being defiant and telling the president, we will not become your colony. And we want Maduro freed immediately and returned. I mean, it's just bluster to tell her people, like, we hear the same rhetoric coming from the supreme leader to the Iranian people. Maybe not right now, but it's the rhetoric that you often hear. And meanwhile, behind closed doors, they're working with the United States on trying to negotiate some kind of a deal. Because that does happen. So obviously, we all could sit here and speculate and come up with hypotheticals and guessing because we don't know. We're not in the inn. How could we know what's really going on here? We could just speculate and voice our opinions and lean on our political opinions to voice our opinions, which I try to refrain from. I try to be objective in the middle and put all points out there. Pro, con, you put out all the different ways this can be observed and viewed as. Of course, one side is going to view it only one way. Same with the other side. They look at it one way. It's a narrow thing. But what if you're looking at it all and listening to everything and bringing out those points that everyone's saying? Instead of just listening to the one side and the other side you don't listen to, what about listening to what everybody has to say about it? Is that a problem? It is for a lot of people because they don't want to hear what the other side is saying. That's a big problem for a lot of people. They don't want to hear it. They only want to hear what they want to hear. And that's the way it's really been when you're dug in and politically affiliated to a party. That's usually the way it is. There's no other way. It's my way or the highway. But like for me today, like earlier, TikTok was wild this morning when I came on with all the stuff going on. But I read everyone's comments that I could read without getting in trouble. Because everybody was making valid points based on their opinions. It would be like me reading one side and not addressing what the other side people saying. And I'm like specifically taking a side. To me, everybody's voice should be heard as long as it's respectful. And another thing too is in TikTok, they were going back and forth and having a conversation. And it was respectful. And yes, people were passionate and, certain words are used, but they weren't downright disrespectful to each other, which is a good thing. People get passionate, they get heated, they say things. That's normal. We all do it. Fringe, I see you. Dusty, you're everywhere. Forget about you. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. So anyway, that's basically right now. My focus returns to. It is, what time is it? Alexa, what time is it in Tehran, Iran?
It's 6:08 a.m. in Tehran, Iran.
Another day is about to begin. I'm keeping my eye on Iran.
Absolutely. Tehran's already 6 hours ahead.
Alexa,
so
stop.
They're getting ahead.
Actually, that's not true. Tehran is 7.5 hours ahead of me Eastern time. Not 6. Wrong. Fake news. That is not true. They're 7.5 hours ahead Eastern. But I'm keeping my eye on that too. What's going on in Iran? They're like little by little taking everything down that has the Supreme Leader image on it. They're taking the flags down, the Islamic Revolutionary flag, because the older flag has the lion on it. And they're walking around carrying it, and they're saying things like praising the king, long live the king, which is the crown prince in exile right now, the son of the Shah, Reza. There's all kinds of death to the dictator. Those are the chants going on in Iran right now. It's not necessarily, and again, that could be spun. Depending on how you look at it. Well, is the Mossad or the CIA involved on the ground? I don't know. And are they helping this uprising? I don't know. But I'm sure there are a lot of people saying they probably are, that they're playing a role in this. And you're showing shots going on in all these cities, but what about the other parts of the city where it's calm? Or is it? There's such lack of information that comes out of Iran. Do we really have a clear picture of what's really going on? Tell Astro I send my love. But tell him I love you more. Don't get jealous. Oh my gosh. I had to do that. He might get a kick out of that too. It's not like I'm any threat anyway. I'm thousands of miles away. And I'm not, and Bill, she's not your type. Stop it. I'm a married man. She's married. Oh my gosh. Oh, too funny. Anyway, it's been one heck of a day since the point I woke up, and KJ's calling me. My phone is going crazy, and I don't keep my phone near my bed where I sleep. I don't like this device close to me. It's like 3 feet away from me, which is kind of close because I want to keep an eye on it. But I necessarily don't like my phone near me, so I hear in the distance, and I know it's Teams, and it's ringing and ringing, then it stops, and then it's ringing and ringing again and it stops, and it's ringing and ringing again. I'm like, oh my God, something must be going on. So I had to get up out of the bed, under my warm comforter, where I'm nice and warm, because it's chilly here, and I'm cold to get to the phone, and I said, dude, I'm sleeping, something like that. Keep me posted. And he goes, Bill, I hope you're not mad at me. I wasn't mad. He was keeping me informed. Him and Nick were talking all night. They both fell asleep. They were talking about this all night, the two of them, in TikTok. But they were talking privately. On TikTok, probably. And I'm like, look at these two. Going back and forth while I'm sleeping. But then again, I'm glad I did go to bed, because look what happened early this morning. I wake up at 6:30 and I'm getting breaking new emails on my phone. What happened in Venezuela? I'm like, oh my God. And that's when I came on this morning live. So it's been a day. And I didn't take no power nap today. So it's been crazy. And what's up to all those on TikTok right now? Things are so much quieter now in TikTok than they were this morning, because I have the title as, I don't even know what I put. Saturday Night Chill Time. This morning it was U.S. forces capture Maduro in Venezuela. I had so many people coming in because they saw that, and I was live. I was like, oh my gosh. Got hit pretty hard on TikTok with a lot of people watching. So it was quite busy this morning. And I streamed for like a few hours talking about it. And I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm starting to lose my voice from talking too much. So a lot of you must be saying, Bill, shut up already. I'm with you. I'm with it. Oh my gosh, I'm with it. Unfortunately, I ain't setting up my camera out there when it's 20 degrees. That's one. Even though it is clear, there's no way. I am not able to deal with that cold, setting up the equipment at 10 o'clock in the dark. That's one. It's cloudy in Greenland to look for aurora. It's cloudy in Canada. It's cloudy in Hawaii for the Subaru telescope. So pretty much, there ain't much to look at. And there's not much to look at on the screen right now. Uh-oh. See, I just heard a noise. There's nobody in the room. It sounded like somebody was turning a doorknob. But there's nobody here. Did you hear that? That's just the creak of the house. Yeah, there was a noise over there. It sounded like somebody was literally turning a doorknob. And there's nobody there. Let's not start this shit tonight. What's up, JR? Bill's gonna be like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Tim. Oh my gosh. On the brighter side, and I'm trying to call my friend, that Rush tribute band that I seen a few months ago, well, they're coming back. And I'm going to see them again, March 7th, Saturday night. And I bought my friend a ticket, but he's not responding to my messages. So I don't even know if he knows. Snow possible tonight. What is that? Oh, snow showers. Oh, don't start with this snow. It's going to be 19, the low tonight. Chance of snow, 50%. No accumulation. Snow showers. I'm looking at the long range. It's going to warm up to the mid-40s next week. That's above normal. That's a nice change. I'll take that. Other than that, all's quiet. Let me try to call Mike one more time. He never picks up his phone. I've known him decades, and this is the way he is. Never picks up his phone. I've been dealing with this since we were teenagers. This is the way he is. Pick up the phone, dude. What is wrong with you? Please leave a message. Anyway. Let's see, who's in chat? Who's hanging out on TikTok? I see Dylan, Tim, and KJ. Nick is watching his 49. Alexa, what's the score with the San Francisco 49ers right now?
The San Francisco 49ers are trailing the Seattle Seahawks 10-3 with 9:10 left in the third quarter.
So Nick is stressing right now. His 49ers are losing. He's stressing right now. That's why he's not on TikTok. He's stressing. He's watching the game intently. He doesn't want to be distracted. You know, he's watching his 49ers and hoping they win this game. He's stressing right now, if I had to guess. I don't know. I might just... It's Saturday night. It feels like... Dude, it's not even 10 o'clock. Dude, I don't know if I'm in the mood for apple juice. I am definitely not in the mood to game. I am not in the mood for apple juice. I can tell you that. I am in the mood for cheesecake and coffee. But I may just call it an early night and get some rest. Like, seriously. I might change my mind later on. It's early, but right now, I'm going to check one more time. Check the weather conditions in Greenland. Sea chickens for the win? Yeah, it's not too nice in Hawaii. Let me see. The moon is an issue too. It's pretty bright out there. It did clear up in some places in Greenland. But the moon is super bright. Yeah, it's not good in Greenland. Or Subaru. And definitely not in Canada. So all the streams are for like Aurora. They're no good. No bueno. It's not that kind of night. So you know what? I may just take a break and go rest for a change. It's not a bad idea. So for those over here, Bob, I don't know if Fringe is still there on Rumble Nation. Anybody who may be watching on these platforms, all of you have a great rest of your weekend. To Dylan, to KJ, and Tim over here, he's everywhere. Everywhere I turn my head, I see Tim. Timmy! So to all of you, have a great night as well. I may be back later if I get bored. But if not, have a great night, and I'll see everybody tomorrow morning. All right.